I was going to do whatever it takes to help you, help me help you gain these opportunities. So before we start, I would love to get maybe 2, 3 observation or whatever you wish to learn by the end of this session. And then now from there, we'll begin the session officially. So I would ask for volunteers if you have something that you'd really wish to learn at the end of this session today. The floor is yours. You can raise your hand and I'll give you an opportunity to say something. Your expectation of today's session? Or I'll pick, today I'll pick at random. It's like we've gone, all right, thank you. Yes, Emmanuel.
Hello.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So you've said you'll be talking about remote jobs.
Yes.
So my question is, how can you apply, and how is it hard to apply for the remote jobs from our country?
Okay, thank you. Any other person, a lady? It is through asking questions that we get to learn. Yes, Grace. Grace?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I think for me today is just to learn the dynamics behind remote work, where to find it, how to apply, how to tailor your CV to be able to match the requirements, and just basically how to get the job and do it and retain it. That's what I want to learn from this session today.
Okay. One last person. All right. Thank you. So, all right. So, one thing that I would love to pass across is so many of us, we are approaching this remote job search as the normal job search that we are used to, whereby we get application through the sites, we send in the CV that we have, maybe to that particular job application, or we fill in details of those application expecting to secure an interview. But when it comes to remote jobs, you realize that things are different, and even the process itself is different. One thing, for instance, if you're applying jobs within Africa, if you're applying for jobs within maybe specifically Kenya or Uganda or Tanzania, you realize that most of them will leverage on your technical skills. Most of them will leverage on your key experience. But when you get to apply now for this remote job, it's a totally different thing, because what they are more interested in is your personality. And if you can pass the personality test, you'll realize that getting these remote jobs in one way or the other becomes easy. And while talking on this, when I talk about personality, is what I mean the difference between now applying for remote jobs and applying for these other kind of jobs. You'll realize that you'll measure more on what you've done, the experience that you have for you to secure that particular job. But when it comes to remote job, they want to know, do you have the capabilities to work with a team? Do you have the capabilities to deliver if no one is looking for you? So these are some of the strong skills that they look for when they are applying for these, when they are advertising for these positions. And one thing that I've also come to realize is when it comes to sourcing for this specific position, we realize that there are so many job adverts, especially if you go on LinkedIn or if you go on these other platforms such as Indeed. And most of these remote jobs, you might find that, yes, you qualify for these positions, but you realize that the more you apply, it's less likely. Hello?
Kamuku. Nikasema guy, ningebeba ile script yangu. Siglo angenirecord hata.
Kindly mute your mic. kindly mute your mic. Yes, so as I was saying, and kindly let me know if I'm off today. I'm having, I don't know, the problem with my machine or the internet. So when you're applying for these positions, one thing you need to be sure of is what exactly do you want to do with these remote jobs? And you cannot just approach these remote jobs just like any other job, whereby you send in your application hoping to land an interview. The first few steps that you need to take into consideration before you go online to apply for these jobs, you need to identify and be sure of what you want. And there are several industries, there are several positions that you can attract when it comes to these remote jobs. This spans from customer service, it spans from a data entry job, it spans from accounting, finance, human resource, and all such kind of stuff. So you need to do due diligence. You need to do a self-retrospection to gauge yourself and to be able to know what exactly can I do best. And these are some of the things you can either find them by maybe based on areas you've worked or based on what people are telling you. One mistake that I've found most people applying for these jobs is the moment they get to these particular sites and they see they have the qualification or bits of qualification, they want to apply to every remote job, but it doesn't happen that way. So once you've identified what you want to do, it is now time to build the relevant skills and experience that will help you attract this particular role. And one thing also I can add on this is when applying for these roles, you'll realize that these are small certifications that we do go through. Like sometimes we see them on LinkedIn, we see them on Udemy, we see them on Allison. These are some of the things that would work to your advantage, because in one instance is you will realize that you can convince them through your application that you have the technical skills, especially to use the collaboration tools such as the Trello, we have the Asana and all such kind of tools that they use maybe to collaborate with these other people. But now during the interview, you'll realize that some of the remote job will give you practical experience whereby you'll be working as you'll be doing the job application. So once you've identified the positions that you want to attract, you need now, the second thing is to invest on these particular positions, invest on the required skill set, invest on the required skills that will help you navigate through this particular job. When it comes to accounting, there are so many short certification in accounting. When it comes to human resource, the same. And when it comes to some customer service, is the same. And one thing you'll agree and realize is customer service position cuts across so many people, because in what we do daily, we deal with customers. And you realize that so many of us are approaching the customer service roles, be it customer service, customer support, customer service assistant, customer service associate, and all such kind of stuff. So one thing is to gain the relevant experience. And then once you have identified what you want to do, the second thing to do is now ensuring that you pick, like sometimes just go and look for those roles, not necessarily to apply for those roles, but just get to understand what are some of the things that they are looking for in these positions that I can leverage on to help me in when it comes to either tailoring my resume or when it comes to preparing maybe the interview or the video kind of interview. So once you've gone through and perused through maybe 6 or even 10 or even 15 job adverts, you will realize some kind of similarities when it comes to these jobs in terms of their requirements, in terms of what is required for you to apply for these roles. So once you've done that, you will realize that now you are at a better position because you have done the due diligence. You know the kind of experience required. You know the kind of attributes required for you to perform this particular job. Then once you've done that, either you can engage a professional to help you work on your CV, or you can work on your CV to help you navigate through these particular roles. So you are tailoring your CV based on the research that you have done. What this does for you is it increases your chances of getting these jobs. Because one thing, just as I was mentioning earlier, you'll realize that most of us, when we go through these job adverts and maybe we qualify for 3 or even 2 points in that particular job advert, we will share our application. So once that is done, you've done your CV, then you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. And if you're looking for a remote job and you have a profile which is not speaking out for you, it is high time you either work on your LinkedIn and ensure that if these recruiters come on your page, they need to get something that will convince them that you are the candidate that you say you are. And when we talk of LinkedIn optimization, I don't just mean having the profile picture. Kindly mute your mic if you've not muted. And kindly mute your mic. Thank you. So I've even forgotten where I was. So when we talk about LinkedIn optimization, it is not just ensuring that your LinkedIn is in a good state, but at least the recruiter should find something that will convince them that you are the best candidate. And there are several things that they look into when they are doing their due diligence. Because remember, one of their roles is to do a background study of you. And they want to see, when it comes to the things that you've highlighted in your application, do you leave some of these things on your LinkedIn profile? So it is important that when you're looking for these particular roles, you need to ensure that you have a well-optimized LinkedIn profile. At least you keep your LinkedIn profile active. You try to engage with other people's content so that at least they can see the aspects of collaboration or the aspects of how you just engage with other people's content. Maybe that is story for another day. So your LinkedIn has been optimized. You have a proper CV, that the ATS compliant CV or resume that you want to use to apply for this role. Now the next step is now to go to this specific site. And this is where I wanted us to dwell more, because this is where most of us get it wrong. For instance, if you for instance, I don't know if you can see my screen. I'm hoping yes, you can. So if you're applying for, this one, the demonstration I'm doing is for those people who are looking for instance, customer service roles. So you realize that when you Google remote jobs on LinkedIn, you will be provided with more than hundreds and thousands of these applications. But there's one thing that these applications are not telling you when it comes to these applications. Some of them won't tell you. Kindly, if you've joined, I'm asking that you kindly mute your mic so that you don't disrupt those people listening in the background. So when it comes to these LinkedIn jobs, you will realize that if you click the remote jobs, you will be provided with so many opportunities that you can apply to. But you'll realize that there are some aspects of this application that may not be indicated on the LinkedIn job post. For instance, maybe they're looking for only residents of specific continents or specific country. Like for instance, they're looking for only residents of United States. You have all the qualifications required, but in your application, it doesn't indicate that you are looking that you are living within United States. Or maybe you might find something like those people who have permits to work in those specific states. And as they do their due diligence, you realize that small aspects of those kind of job application are things that will nullify you. So you'll keep on applying to these positions just to get regrets and regrets and regrets. So what is the best way to go about these applications to ensure that you get, what is the best way to go about these applications that ensure that you get the legit jobs and you are able to go through all the job requirements to see that you qualify for these particular jobs? So there are several ways to do this. Every time you go on LinkedIn and you find a remote job, don't just hit the easy apply, send your CV and leave it at that point. You need to go a step further. look into the companies or into their website under the career section. Are these people hiring? Because sometimes jobs are posted on LinkedIn, but they forget to turn off the notification. Yes, you might apply hoping that or thinking that these people are still hiring, not only for you later on to come and realize that the positions they are not hiring. So what is the best procedure that you need to do anytime you find or anytime you want to apply to a remote job? Pick for these jobs, then go to this company's website, see, is this job still active within their website? And if not the case, if the jobs are not posted on their website, you can go either to their social media pages to see if they're still accepting candidates for these opportunities. And while there, check for every detail. For instance, is it a hybrid kind of job? Is it an on-site kind of job? Or is it a part-time kind of job? So these are some of the things that you need to take into consideration when you're sending your application for those specific jobs, because you may realize, and please kindly let me know when I've frozen or when you're not hearing me. We can utilize the chat session because I don't know what's happening with my internet today. So once you've done that, look into every detail. Is it hybrid kind of job application? And if it is hybrid, if you're applying for this specific job from Uganda, it might be very difficult for you to get into hybrid kind of job arrangements. Kindly, if you've joined, mute your mic so that I don't have to go back and forth, just to ensure that you've muted your mic. Are we able to see my screen? We can utilize the, yeah?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay. So you need to ensure that you've checked through every detail when it comes to the locations, when it comes to the timings that they are looking for, when it comes to the kind of arrangement. Is it a contract? Is it a part-time? So that you don't waste your time in opportunities that you do not qualify for. And this is not like in these other countries whereby you can sometimes, if you are applying for a job that requires maybe a particular staff, you can give it luck and maybe hope to be given an opportunity to defend yourself in an interview. These ones will automatically disqualify you, and then you'll realize that you get so many regrets. So anytime you send your application, you're getting regrets. Anytime you send your application, you're getting regrets. This is because you omit to read some part of important details in these job adverts. So that being said, what are some of the websites where you can get these particular jobs? There are several websites that you can get the remote jobs. First of all, we have job boards such as remote.co, we have Indeed, we have We Work Remotely, we have, there are several of them. But now these ones should just be there to guide you on how to find this specific, organizations that are hiring. And once you've clicked on these organizations, you can do your due diligence and go through what we've talked about and look for opportunities that are hiring worldwide. And for these specific opportunities, you might realize that some of them are asking for specific languages. So if you're good with French, if you're good with Spanish, look for those tiny, tiny details. Those are the things that will get to attract you this particular role. So in that case, I'm just wanted us to go through a few of these roles. So there's this website it is called the Nodesk, and the Nodesk it majorly relies, or it majorly posts the remote jobs or the companies that are hiring for these remote jobs. I don't know what you're seeing on my screen. What are you seeing on my screen? Maybe one person can mute and let me know. Sharing the screen. I'm hoping that you should be seeing something remote customer support. Yeah, thank you. So when it comes to this, now you come to these specific companies, either you can click under this section of remote jobs. And when you go to remote jobs, you'll realize that there are thousands and thousands of these remote jobs. So let us take, for example, you are looking for an opportunity you want to become a business analyst. So the first thing that you're supposed to put in is the remote, and then you see this is a worldwide kind of opportunities. And then you go ahead and open that position. Once you've opened that position, ensure you read, you see now for this one, anyone can apply for this particular lot, which is fully remote. So for this kind of jobs, you read through now the job advert from the introduction, and then from the introduction, you go down until you ensure that you've read everything. And you can go through this job advert more than several times. And in some instances, now that is why AI is playing a vital role. Sometimes just copy this job advert here. Once you've copied all of it, post it on ChatGPT or Nova AI or any other kind of AI. Then put a prompt asking them, can you give me a focus area, or can you deconstruct this job application? So from there, they'll be able to tell you for this particular job application, this is what they are looking for, and this is what you can do for you to get this role. Because you realize that this thing is very detailed, and sometimes it might be very difficult for you to get the relevant or the, how do I call it, to get the relevant information, or to get those vital information that would land you the job interview. And also when it comes to your expectations, when it comes to what we will offer you, get ChatGPT or any other AI, analyze and give you the key areas to help you get this particular job. So stuff like, is this a part-time job? Like, are part-timers accepted? So maybe you are looking for a part-time job and you have not taken time to go through maybe this section, and then you go ahead and apply for these roles. So what happens is when you'll be doing the interview, you'll realize that you will be disqualified. Maybe one reason can be you do not qualify due to 1, 2, 3 reason. That is number one. So you can sift through and see. So under this website, we have different industries that are hiring. So if you're looking for opportunities in customer support, you can check there. If you're looking for opportunities in design, you can check there. If you're looking for opportunities in all these sections, you'll be able to get. But my point for you, it'll be, look for these tiny details as where the timings of this particular job, and if this position is hiring either remote or in full. The second thing, under that website, sometimes it's good to, or something that I forgot to say about this particular role. Once you've checked on this role, one important thing that you need to do is don't just check for this one and leave it at that point. Sometimes you need to.
Wacha kidogo nimalize hii class.
Kindly mute your mic. So, as I was saying, after you've read it there, sometimes you go step ahead and look into this organization. Is it hiring? Once you click that organization, come to their website, and then now you can scroll down to their career section. And if you get that this opportunity, like the opportunities are still opened on this website, it is now you can go ahead and apply. And if you can apply to that particular role on their website, it will work to your advantage as compared to applying for these roles on other job boards. So anytime you want to apply for these opportunities, that is some of the things that you're supposed to do. Another advantage with websites like this, they can give you the companies that are hiring remote in 2025. So for instance, you can come to this and see. So if you click on these specific companies, you will see all of these are full of opportunities that are hiring, depending on now what kind of job you want to get. So once you come here, you will, you're able to peruse through these companies. And if there are open positions, now you can go ahead and apply to those specific positions. So that is just one side. We have the no desk. We have the no desk. So there's also Indeed. So Indeed offers dedicated sections for remote customer support and all such. We work remotely. So like for instance, if you click on this job advert and then you know what you're looking for, you will realize that you can navigate through all these positions to come and see. And once you've come to this, don't just one thing I was saying is when you come to these specific sites, look into stuff like the timing. Like here, there is the Philippines. You can work anywhere from the world, but you can see the specification there. Onboarding customer service, this is Latin American only. So sometimes you might realize that, yes, you are qualified to work at Zoom, but now the LATAM time here disqualifies you from working. So check into every detail to ensure that you get it right when it comes to the job application. So if you just approach the job search normally, one thing I was saying that this remote job search, it is not for the faint-hearted because you have to put in the work and you have to dedicate specific times just to ensure that you do your due diligence such that by the time you are applying, you are sending your application, you have done your due diligence and you have applied to a right role that will give you an opportunity to be called for an interview. So these are some of the things that you need to apply. So you see, for instance, something that I had mentioned earlier, when you're applying for these specific jobs on LinkedIn, you realize that it is customer service, and because they want as many applications as possible, one thing you'll see, they'll write they're working worldwide. But now when you come to the specific job, or when you come to the specific website, you will see the specifications here that this one disqualifies you because they're only looking for candidates in this particular organization. So these are some of the things that you need to be aware of when it comes to sourcing for these remote opportunities. And you need to spare at least, I can say you can give yourself maybe at least 30 minutes a day, just trying to prepare yourself when it comes to this role. Sometimes you need to visit as many websites as possible, just pick the specific titles, and then now come plan yourself. You say, for this particular day, I'm going to do the research. On this particular day, I'm going to set it that on each week, I'll be sending applications amounting either to 4 applications, or each day I will ensure that I send at least an application a day. So that being said, one thing I want to say is you can't get into a remote world today and you can't get into a remote world today and get a job tomorrow, because once you qualify for an interview, that is just but a step. Like once you qualify for this interview, you'll realize that sometimes you might undergo multiple interviews for you to be able to secure these opportunities. So that is also a preparation that you need to do, because for remote job, you can even undergo 9 interviews or even more, but at least you'll have to undergo around 6 or 5 different interviews. And at some point, when you're doing these interviews, you'll realize that you'll be given tasks. Some of them are time-bound, some of them are not necessarily time-bound, but you'll be given tasks that you have to perform and deliver within minutes. So if you come and to these people and lie to them that you can do, this is the time that either you will fail at the qualification level when you are given this task and you are not able to deliver. So that is why I was saying the first part of it is very important, because it gives you an opportunity to at least get to know what they require and how well you can prepare for this specific role. So if you're planning or intending to get a remote job between now and maybe in April, this is the time to start and to ensure that you've done your due diligence and you know what you are looking for. I've worked with several candidates, maybe the past year, some of them that we started working with in last year, some of them are getting jobs. Like this year, this month alone, I think we've got 4 success stories when it comes to remote jobs. One of them is US based, 2 of them are from Kenya, one is from South Africa, and another one is from Malawi. And these sometimes you realize that they put in the work and they do it right. And with consistency, you will get these positions. So this is why I said I was going to give, and if you've been following me, you realize that I write articles on remote jobs and we'll be having so many coaching interview on how to go about this. So maybe before I finish, one thing that I would like to mention is, so once you plan that you want to get this remote job, put everything ready in terms of you. If you're in data analytics, if you are in data analytics, or if you're in customer service, put everything ready. Invest in the skill set that will help you go through. Ensure that you have a very vibrant LinkedIn that can speak for you, and also when it comes to applying to these jobs, you can approach them with the right strategy. So today's session, I just wanted to give a general overview of what to expect when it comes to applying for these remote jobs. But now we are going to go into details just to ensure in the subsequent session. And I'm introducing cohorts whereby I'll be taking candidates for cohorts. We go through the process from analyzing the CV, from analyzing where they are, and then we work together with them through this process. And the good thing is this, each day I spend like 2 hours just browsing through the internet to find where we can find this job opportunity, the legit job opportunity. Then the next thing I do, I qualify. Sometimes I do just pilot application to see what exactly are these people looking for and how can I train the people I work with to ensure that they qualify for these opportunities. So next week, I'm opening up the first cohort, and the first cohort will be dealing with, it's a session that goes for at least 1 week. I take you through, and then after 1 week now, we can be doing a background check just to see how can we work together to help you and navigate and go through this job process. The one thing that I need to mention when it comes to this application, some of us are lazy. Let me use the term lazy when it comes to now filling in this job, because you'll realize that when it comes to remote job, it's not just a matter of sending. Some of them will just require you to send your CV, but some of them will require to go step by step when it comes to applying to this position. And this is where sometimes AI can give you all the answers that you need, but that is what will disqualify you as a candidate, because some of them knows how to scan through and detect whether you've used AI to answer to these specific questions. So those are some of the things that we are going to talk about. Now, when it comes to applications, how do you go through this application? And when it comes to qualifying these jobs, how do you go through the qualifications of these jobs? But while on that, there's also something I would like to warn you. There's a booming market for remote jobs and for conmen to flourish, and everyone is coming in the name of being a recruiter. You realize some of them will reach out to you, take you through this rigorous process, and get you to a point. Sometimes they might steal from you without you necessarily knowing that they're stealing from you. They come, they take you through that, and then they tell you this specific skills that is required for you to qualify for this role. And for you to qualify for this role, now that you've gotten here, you have to subscribe at a fee, maybe to go through this training for you to get this job. So there are so many people conning people due to when it comes to these remote jobs. And one thing you need to know, these are some of the things we are going to see in these sessions. How can you qualify, especially when a recruiter reaches out to you? How can you qualify if this is a legit job or is just someone who is wasting your time? So I will share the details today, tomorrow on how to go about this. And if you want to join, it's for the introductory part, I will not be charging so much for this. It is a 1 week and I'll only be charging 3,500 shillings. So I will give Kenya shillings. I will give details if you would wish to be part of the first cohort that you're working with. And you can join or you can reach out for more information. So that being said, that is what I wanted to share with us today, and also to take any questions. And I didn't want this session to be as long as those other ones. So I'm opening the floor to questions and answers in case someone needs any clarification or there's something someone would like to ask. So you can raise your hand and ask a question. Robert, you want to say something? Robert Mkanda, you want to say something? Yes, Alvin. Yes, Alvin.
You able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you at a distance.
What about now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Apologies for that. So my question, I think it is based on experience. There's a remote job I had applied for on LinkedIn, but it was more of a data analytics, BI analytics, and data science. But the interviews I went for, the 3-4 of them, I thought I'd be talking to somebody who's in Dubai, but turns out to be Kenya. So I don't know whether that job is legit or is it just another shady job.
I'm struggling to hear the last part of it.
Yeah, my question is,
Yeah.
the company is based in Dubai from the LinkedIn profile and all that. Even I checked their website that they are based in Dubai.
I'm struggling again.
What about now? I'm asking like for that job that I described.
Is it only
Are you
me
able to
or we
hear
are
me?
all struggling to get Alvin? Yes, please go ahead.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I was saying that the company is based in Dubai, but the job itself, it is person who's giving me the test is Kenya. So I don't know whether that job is legit or is it another shady job. So maybe.
All right, the person giving you the job is in?
Is in Kenya. Is a Kenyan.
And the job is based in?
Dubai, but the job is remote.
Or did you check the website to see if they're advertising?
Yes, I had checked.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's some part that I missed. You had applied for a data analytics job, but the person interviewing you was?
The person who gave me the interview, the stages of the interview, the interview questions, mostly the questions on software engineering.
Something must be wrong with your gadget. I don't know why you're getting lost. Maybe as Alvin sorts out his gadget, maybe we can get another question. Alvin, maybe you can change the devices and see if we can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Any other question? Robert, yes, Wangari?
Hi, Coach. Thank you so much for this session. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I'm asking about I'm quite confused because currently I'm applying for the remote jobs. So I'm asking about the skills. I seem to be all over with the relevant skills. I don't know. I don't know which core skills you'd tell us to focus on because I seem to be all over and at the end of the day, I'm busy but not productive. So maybe you can guide us because I've heard you mention about analytics so many times. So I don't know if it is a core skill we need. You can maybe advise us the skills to become better in the remote jobs. Thank you.
Okay. Just to answer your question, there's one thing that I'd mentioned that first of all, you need to identify the kinds of jobs that you are applying to. And the specific job is what will determine the kind of skills that will be required to get this. But there are these non-negotiable skills. We have the communication, we have the listening, we have the people's skills. This can be either collaborative skills. So if you can get if you can get the analytical skill is also key. If you can get these core skills, the communication, the analytical, the problem solving, the people skills, and then now you add the technical skills, now will determine on the position that you're applying for. So maybe what you can do, you can book a session. We just go through and see how can we help each other so that at least you don't find yourself you are in different places. So you can book maybe a screening session. That one we can talk behind the tent just to help you understand on how to go about it. Yes, Robert, you addressed your hand and lowered it. I don't know if I've answered your question, Wangare.
Yes, you have. I'll talk to you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other? Robert, I'd seen your hands up. You have something to say? Okay, I get your question now. I get your question, Alvin. And my answer can be either no or a yes. But one thing you need to understand also is when it comes to, you realize that there are these international organizations that pick talent search from different parts of the country to help them through picking these candidates. But if you get to a point where this person is either asking you to send money or is asking you to send your details, for instance, the bank details, send yours, the documents in chapter 6 of the Constitution, that is now when you need to be suspicious. But for now, you can play along and just be careful so that you don't get to waste your time on also your resources. Any other question? Any other question or something you'd like to get clarifications on? Robert Chemur. If you can't speak, you can type your question in the chat session. Wangari, do you want to ask another question or you just forgotten to lower down your hands? Okay, thank you. So any other question? Yes, Caroline?
Okay, my question is, do you like do some sessions for hand holding candidates? You help someone to go through the interview process, or maybe you work like a recruitment agency to like connect people to jobs, be it remote or even in Kenya, and then maybe after the process is complete or even before, there are some charges, because I find these processes are sometimes too long and you might not even know when you are doing the right thing, and such experience is needed. Your experience is needed on to know what to do and what not to do when you are doing these applications.
Yes, to clarify, I'm not a recruiter, and yes, I hold people's hands, and even in this meeting, there are people we've been working together with either for a month or 2 months. There are people we worked with to get jobs locally. Some of them, I'm seeing them in this meeting, whereby I did hold their hands. We walked through this job applications process until they were able to get these specific jobs. But now for the specific, for those specific, if you would like us to do that, you can reach out and we can now come with a better formula for you to get for these positions. I don't recruit, but anytime, because sometimes I get a lot of recommendations, and anytime a recommendation comes, I will give in the recommendation without even asking a single cent. So many people have recommended that I've gotten jobs and I didn't ask for a single cent. And when it comes to holding your hands, helping you with your resume, helping you with your LinkedIn, helping you with the kind of jobs, that one now you can reach out and we'll be able to have the conversation. Esther is asking, how can you optimize your CV from attracting on-site job to remote jobs without remote setting experience? I remember I said when it comes to these CVs, they are more looking into the soft skills. And if you can leverage on the soft skills, and also depending on the position that you're applying to, you'll realize that you will stand a better chance. And one best thing with this position is once you've been onboarded, you'll be taken through a rigorous training in that particular job, and then you'll gain the relevant experience. So what is it is just to know how to package yourself and how to know how to package and sell yourself when it comes to the soft skills. Yes, Alexander, I do LinkedIn optimization. We do LinkedIn optimization. Maybe either you can reach out and then we can help you with that. And yes, you can reach out and we'll be able to help you with that. And for those people who would like to reach out to inquire, I've shared my number on the chat session. You can pick it and reach out in case you have an inquiry. Any other question?
Yeah, still, Coach,
Yes.
I don't know if it's only me, but I can't see your number in the chat section.
Really, I can see it.
Yeah, now I can see it.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'd not sent it. And this is my email, but for work, I do maintain it for work purposes only. Any other question? All right, so I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for creating time to be able to join. It was a short session, and I believe we gained something. So maybe before I give maybe I can get a feedback from guys how the session was, however short it was.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I thought the session was really insightful, to be honest, because getting a remote job is always a dream of many Kenyans. You know, going to the office is old-fashioned nowadays, especially after COVID. But getting the hack on how to go through let me tell you, I am seated here and sick. The amount of regrets I've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what sijui ni nyota, but I really don't know how to go about it. But I've joined, at least I've gotten a thing or two on maybe packaging, I don't know, or something to do with the CV. But thanks for this. It's always thanks for your kind heart. You know, it's not easy to come by people who are like you.
Thank you.
So let's keep on learning. It's a learning process.
Thank you so much. The session is pre-recorded and you can access it in my YouTube channel. I'll post it tomorrow. Yes, Wangare?
Coach, I want to say thank you so much for creating time for us on a Sunday evening. It's very uncommon. Also, thank you so much for being transparent. You have shared that the processes for the remote jobs, they can be very lengthy, and maybe that is something I didn't know before, because they can be lengthy and tiring. But now that we know what is ahead of us, I'm braced up and ready to move on with the journey. So thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you so much. So thank you, guys. Any other person who is feeling left out? And Robert, please, next time you can try to join in a little early, but still you can get the recording of what we've talked about today, tomorrow. My YouTube, by the way, you can subscribe to my YouTube is just Coach Kelvin Waga. If you get, you'll see the recorded sessions that you've ever held before. It's okay. So thank you guys for joining in, and I'm believing we'll be having these frequent sessions every Sunday, so that at least we can cover base. And the Sunday sessions are majorly free, but it is not as packed as the ones for the premium session. So it's your choice to see how to go about it. But one thing I will tell you is, depending on how you'll choose to go about it, that is what will either differentiate you from other people, because you cannot get remote jobs while you keep on using the strategies that have not landed you the local jobs for the period that you've been out of employment. Otherwise, thank you. And may Alvin, can you close for us with a word of prayer? I'm hoping your mic will agree to pray for us. Alvin, Ama Kate Mutua, could you pray for us? Catherine? All right. I think I'll volunteer again to pray. Let us bow. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this session. Even as we depart, we ask you, Jehovah, to be with us. And for those people who are looking for opportunities, open doors for them, give them courage, and show them how to go about this. For the short prayer, Jehovah, I pray, trusting and believing in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, see you guys next Sunday or next Saturday. I will communicate. Bye-bye, and do have a good night.
Thank you.